Hey guys! If you're like me, unfortunately the visa process hasn't been very easy or very simple, and at times it's been very trying, especially if you have members of your family helping you and they don't understand what's going on either. My home university didn't prove to be much help in certain matters in the visa process, so I had to consult the internet, which is, a basic thing people do always for everything nowadays, and even then the information was very varied and very difficult to understand at times, and it didn't feel like I could ever get a good source for things. Like there was never just one site where I could find all the information, and maybe people have had different experiences. Maybe I'm just very bad at researching things, and maybe I just wasn't in the right place. But anyway, for those of you that are having trouble finding information online, I just wanted to provide something for people that are having just a really hard time with finding the requirements for the visa. I just want to clarify that this video is for American students traveling to South Korea for their student visa. So this is for the Korean D2 student visa that you apply for and get in America. So let's start with the requirements. The first thing they're going to want from you is your passport. And you cannot just take a photocopy of the front cover and hand that in. You have to hand in your physical passport. And I know my mom had a lot of anxieties over this, but I promise it's safe, and you have to hand in a priority mail envelope anyway so they can send everything back to you. And they promise that they'll put the passport right in the envelope as soon as they're done with it, and everything is safe and secure. The second thing you'll need is the actual visa application. And it is not specific for D2 student visas, and it's not specific for student visas in general. It is a very general application, and there's a section where you check off what your purpose for going to Korea is, and that's where you check off student. So if you're Googling or looking for specific D2 student visa applications, you will not find it. It's just this one application used for everything, and it looks like this. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, but it's 4 or 5 pages, I think, and yes, it's written in Korean, but it's also written in English next to the Korean. And I was confused with the application because at one point there's a section like sponsorship, like who's sponsoring you, and I wasn't sure if my university in America was sponsoring me, or if EUA was sponsoring me, or since me and my parents are paying, they were my sponsors. So I left it blank for when I got to the Korean Consulate. My mom and I traveled to the consulate in New York in person to hand this in. So I left it blank to ask them when I got there. And the woman didn't even have a problem with it. She said, you can just leave this blank, it's fine. She put her official stamp on every page. Now, I don't necessarily recommend leaving things blank. If you know the answers, don't wait until you get there because it might just delay the process. Like there's one section that asks for your passport information. Obviously you should know your passport information, so go ahead and put that in. So the third thing they're gonna want are 2x2 pictures of yourself, passport pictures, so white background, hair off your face. They made me put my hair up and whatever. And this is going to go on the application, but you have to go somewhere to get it taken and printed out. I went to Costco, which is where I went and got my passport a few years ago too. And they are 2x2 pictures, so they're pretty small. My picture's kind of ugly, I'm gonna cover it up. But they just look like this, they're very little. And you got 4 or 5 of them from Costco, but you only need one. And once I handed in my application, I watched the woman behind the counter take out a glue stick, like in elementary school, and just glue my picture to the application. So it's not as high stakes or as important as people might think it is. She literally just glued it to the application. The next thing you're gonna need are your letters of acceptance. So mine came in an envelope and looked like this. At the bottom there's the official stamp, EUA University. I don't know if you can necessarily see, but in it is my certificate of admission, my letter of acceptance, and some important dates, and one other official paper. But they're going to need to see this for proof that you are accepted to go to a university. So you need to turn this in, and I will say that I was pretty convinced that they would need original copies, but they had given me back the original documents and taken everything, actually mostly everything, not even this, but most of the other papers I had handed in, they went back and made copies and gave us back the originals, which I was again surprised about because I thought they would want the originals as they're more authentic. But they made copies and gave me back the original letter of acceptance. But you are going to need to bring this. You don't need to bring like this came in this plastic folder. You don't need to bring the plastic folder. She gave that back to me right away, obviously since I have it. But that's just another thing you need to bring. Now this next item number 4, there was a lot of discrepancy online and it was hard to find one solid answer. Some people said, yes, I needed this, and some people said, no, I did not need this. But this item is your official sealed transcript from your university that has things like your GPA and everything on it. When I handed all my documents in, the woman just like leafed through them real quick and immediately slid my transcript back to me under the window. I did not need this at all. She did not open it. She did not even look at it. But I would still absolutely recommend bringing it. But it's always better to be safe than sorry, especially in my situation where we drove 3 hours. I live in Philadelphia. We had to drive 3 hours to go to the Korean Consulate in New York, and it would have just really sucked if we got there and they were like, oh no, we actually do want your transcript. So bring it anyway, just in case. I mean, it won't hurt you at all. It costs like $8, I think, for my university to get it. So just better safe than sorry. The next thing you're gonna wanna see, item number 5, is your flight itinerary. Mine looks like this. My mom wrote notes at the top. But basically, after you get your flight tickets, which again, you should get months in advance, better sooner than later because the cost does go up. And by the time I even selected my flight, which was round trip, there were only 9 seats left on the entire plane. And if I had waited a day or two more, I might not have been able to get to Korea on the day that I wanted to, which was the day of move-in. I might have had to show up a few days later, which I really didn't want to do. So they just want to see the itinerary and proof of purchase of a plane ticket. And ours, when we printed ours out, it was 8 pages. And I know she gave me like 3 pages back, I think. So once again, this is the original, but she made copies of it and gave us back the original tickets, which doesn't really matter anyway because they're printed off from the internet anyway. But so you're going to need to print out your flight itinerary and bring that with you. Okay, this last item was the one we had the most confusion and most problems with, and this is your official bank statement. They basically want to see proof in your finances in either checking or savings that you have the money to support yourself and live and eat while you are abroad, that you can support yourself and you are financially capable of keeping yourself alive for 4 months or however long you're going. I'm only going for 1 semester while you're abroad. And we could not find a consistent number for how much I needed. For 1 year studying abroad, it didn't even matter what university I was going to, they wanted to see $10,000. And we did not have that. And we did not think it was necessary at all for me to have $10,000 in my savings account if I was only going for 4 months and not a whole year. So we looked online and we saw everything from $3,000 to $5,000. And once again, the sites were very incongruent. Everyone was saying different things. So just to be safe, we had $5,000 in my savings account when we went to the consulate, and that was the correct number. So once again, for 1 semester studying abroad, the final answer is $5,000. They need to see in either checkings or savings, it doesn't matter, and you need to get an official bank statement from your bank that says that you have this much money. It took so long for us to figure this out. I asked the woman from my school, I asked the women from EWA, and no one knew what the right answer would be, and we kept calling the consulate and no one was picking up for a while. But the final answer is $5,000. Please remember this, everyone, $5,000. They need to see it in your bank account. Doesn't matter where, checkings or savings, but absolutely they need to see $5,000. I might have got the numbers mixed up at some point, like I might have skipped a number or said a number twice. But whatever. So basically they need to see your passport, your application. You need a 2x2 passport photo that they're going to glue to the application. You need your official letters of acceptance from the school. They need to see your flight itinerary. They may or may not need an official sealed transcript. For me, I did not need the sealed transcript. I brought it anyway, which is the safe thing to do, but they did immediately give it back to me. And last, but absolutely not least, is the bank statement. You need to have it printed out. And again, she made copies for me and gave me back the original, but they need to see for 1 semester $5,000. For 2 semesters or a whole academic year, they want to see $10,000. Once my mom and I got to the consulate, it only took about 15 minutes. It was super quick. It wasn't very crowded. We had no idea what to expect, but we went in there, we were scanned like at the airport, and we went up to a window and the woman said hello, and we handed her our things and she stamped through all of it. My mom asked her mom questions, and we were out in 15 minutes. It was a very easy, very smooth process. We weren't missing anything. She didn't have any questions. She made copies of everything. She just checked that everything was correct and gave us our things back, and we were on our way. So I hope this helped someone, at least 1 or 2 people, because I wish there was a video like this that told me I only needed $5,000 before my mom and I had stress attacks. Good luck everyone in getting your visa. I wish everyone the best, and good luck! I might be doing my packing videos soon, as I have a month until I leave. And good luck everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye!